Chainsaw Man Episode 3. Overall, just a really roller coaster episode. You get to find out more about Power. She was a blood devil before she became a fiend. We also get to find out that she doesn't like humans, rather the only thing that she really has a connection with is a cat named MEOWY. And this turns into us finding out that apparently the cat got took away by a devil, and before Power could go back and find it, that Miss Makima got her. Now, Denji does hear about this story. He doesn't necessarily care. All he cares about is trying to touch a female's chest. And so, he ends up making a deal with her that agrees to this. And he gets fully interested once that is sort of made. So what we get to see is Power ends up being a traitor to Denji. So he ends up getting fed to this bat devil, and he doesn't like him because, well, Denji is a devil and his blood just tastes disgusting to other devils. The devil only ends up drinking like a little bit of his blood and he's disgusted by it. He gets to where he grows back one of his limbs and he like flies out of the house, getting ready to go on a rampage to eat a bunch of humans. And there's like this whole thing where Denji and Power don't get along at all, and she's making like these remarks as this devil is about to go away, and she asks about her cat, which he ends up pretending like he was going to give it to her, and he eats it. And that's whenever her Power just becomes like how Denji was. She feels just terrible inside, and she gets ate as well. Just gonna go ahead and skip ahead. So Denji actually really resonates with the words of Power, and he ends up grabbing this bat as it's going away. This is where he goes into his chainsaw mode, he fights it, they get a little scrappy in the city, and it gets a bit crazy. At the end of the day, it gets sliced in half, and we really don't know what happened to Power or Meowy. To me, the biggest highlight is not the fight. The fight itself, it's like a 7-ish. It doesn't really do anything much for me. But the big thing I'm looking at is that Denji actually ended up helping, even though his own deal fell off. You know, he got betrayed. He did this because of something similar that happened whenever he was younger with him and Puchita. At the same time, there is this counter argument where throughout this that he kept talking about how he wanted to do his ultimate goal. But in my mind, I'm gonna think, hey, Denji had a good heart. He was trying to do both at the same time. So that's pretty much the main thing that happened. We also get this other stuff with Makima. She was like in the car talking about the names of devils, and apparently the scarier name, the more powerful of the devil. And it sort of implies that Denji is the Chainsaw Devil, which is extremely scary. And oh yeah, she did talk about them being like dogs, and Denji was one of them that he like picked up on the streets, which was kind of an interesting way to go about it. And that seemed like it was being said to the heads of whoever the Devil Hunters Association is, presidents, whatever they're called, we really don't know yet. With all that, I'm gonna rate this episode a 9.2. I gotta say it, and I'm really not afraid. It was okay. You know, nothing too crazy. The fighting wasn't that great. The emotional things that they do show here, the power story with Meowy, as well as the Puchita crying, and we get to see Denji kind of comfort him, those weren't bad. It's just, that's like the big highlights I feel like this episode, and it's just not enough. I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on Chainsaw Man Episode 3. Hope you guys stay safe, and until next time, peace out, guys.